aba Kweku oh na Kweku nso ntimi nyina so wana ne line nye
why shit
I get it
why shit because who share videos now
yeah
and people no move jubilate
parliament Supreme Court
there was a jubilation here there's no jubilation
but it can happen say
no there's absolutely even with what you guys are saying court international so there's no jubilation maybe a addition for all of us practicing this kind of business
why am I call Supreme Court no
MP'S no
and where you from the Supreme Court
hey oh wow
more have video okay Evans forward the video nema
na NDC from
forward man Dominic na okay Kweku Asante Kweku
hello
yes Otemenka
so what has just happened in the Supreme Court is that the Supreme Court presided over by Chief Justice Gertrude Sokono 5-0 unanimously they have decided to stay the decision of the Chief of Parliament declaring forces vacant. The court said real issues of natural justice, as in these 4 MPs were all not given a fair hearing yet, and so the matter also has to do with representation. They have been to represent their constituents, also not taking cognizance of. And see, even though the lawyers for Alexander Afenyo-Markin asked for an interim injunction of 10 days, the Supreme Court, in their wisdom, panel chaired over by the Chief Justice herself, decided to grant the injunction until the full determination of the suit. And so what they have done now is to restore the status quo. That is all those 4 members of Parliament have been directed to actually allow them to perform their duties as members of Parliament until the full determination of this suit. The case was made by Afenyo-Markin and his lawyers, led by Bakwesi Abedu and Jogate Aomuba in there, to make the case that these are serious.
Make I my for one material in our channel on a day a 2K News and Blogs on YouTube. So I say, what are my factions so we video in the Chawson? Na me dem say air to us. Nina say, Yankupon Yaduma, Ebusia, and some who do be Brinana, air course were gonna say, Nina ye towards about a day on the 7th December. I had Damamen Ebusia for there are so many things Uncle for Eka at the I about to a home. And Simbi Brinana. For a can adventure na doso o social media so ye ban say ya na kese yen so ya bob bia no agibi na yen so ye de ba beso me ahwefo ne tiefo nyina e wo 2K News and Blogs channel we so be ya yen so be hu de e koso e wo social media so about about we ne sent na buzua me pese me kasa betintin ko ne nkutie ensem ne fambra ye ba betenance ne di ensem ne honkom
from Supreme Court Supreme Court say or the substantive application Afenyo
one more clarification say this order is not to last for 10 days as requested by the applicants, but until the determination
in the interlocutory injunction. It is 10 days near interim injunction, and I think that is what the applicants not filed. But we are calling you into and your man the American say the Supreme Court per this decision say Afenyo file a substantive application before the Supreme Court. Say, invoking the interpretative jurisdiction of the court to interpret Psalm 97:1 is answer same thing na. And was file an application to injunct speaker ruling na. What time na all file first one na speaker man ruling. In the speaker man ruling and run and our file fresh processes to seek to injunct speaker ruling the court not genuatum says speaker what ruling say 4 seats have been declared vacant by a day tabo ayede atosa ruling so until say substantive case na Afenyo de ba ye beka ewie no MPs now can so ma vacate your seat no or sign
so it's not vacant
and you vacate the Supreme Court
for how many days
decision and then until so maka substantive issue na wie
that is also not fair.
The Supreme Court as
Supreme Court
but the mention say until the determination
issue the MPs will still go to Parliament and do that.
But Parliament how many days?
And they say emfa ho
no dey me myself
dabi no emfa ho Supreme Court e dey decision aba enti we can listen to what speaker so and I believe say at the hearing of this application the Parliament of Ghana had council on
another question.
Make argument. Yeah.
Can the Supreme Court injunct Parliament in its duties?
That's also a whole new. But
if it doesn't bother
because what the Speaker did was an exercise of his constitutional powers
as Speaker of Parliament. Yes.
Can another arm of government, as in the judiciary?
But no. I think the answer to that question is in Justice Abdullahi versus Attorney General. The Supreme Court
Parliament
comprehensively dealt with that. So when what the Parliament has done, that on the Constitution. Then all more
but say maybe the working country maybe say matters on interpretation there. You cannot take out the Supreme Court.
Of course.
So clearly
but Evans's question is legitimate because
you cannot interfere in the affairs of Parliament when there is no need for interpretation. There are rules and regulations there. So clearly so.
It will not
almost have them. Say yes, we no veer off the veer off interpretation. There wouldn't have been any need for all these Supreme Court interventions and all those things.
And let's see, I don't know when a Supreme Court back substantive issues. I don't know when a Supreme Court back say any from any sitting
no because Parliament
I don't know. I think it's in the by
November
7th. It should be first or second week of November. Parliament will rise.
That's what
to prepare for elections, no? And then after elections, January 6th. By January 6th will be a new Parliament.
But last time you say this, Nana. Now this
is here. Say some Supreme Court justice nominees were vetted. I was a parliamentary approval, and some loan will be before Parliament. Okay, Kwekwa Santiaba, Kweku. Oh, now Kwekun so to me, so one on the line in it.
Why shit?
Why is she? I get it.
Why shit? Because who share videos now?
Yeah.
And people no move jubilate.
Parliament. Supreme Court.
Supreme Court.
There was a jubilation. There's no jubilation.
But it can happen, sir.
No, there's absolutely even with what you guys are saying. Yeah. Court financial so there's no jubilation. Maybe a addition for all of us practicing this kind of business.
Why am I call Supreme Court?
MP'S no.
And where you from the Supreme Court?
Supreme Court.
Hey.
Oh wow.
Okay. Evans, forward the video, Nema.
NDC
forward Dominic. Okay, Kwekwa Kweku.
Hello, yes.
Yes, Otemenka.
So, what has just happened in the Supreme Court is that the Supreme Court presided over by Chief Justice Gertrude Sokono 5-0 unanimously. They have decided to stay the decision of the Parliament declaring forces vacant. The court said real issues of natural justice, as in these 4 MPs, were all not given a fair hearing yet, and so the matter also has to do with representation. They have been to represent their constituents, also not taking cognizance of. And see, even though the lawyers for Alexander Afenyo-Markin asked for an interim injunction of 10 days, the Supreme Court, in their wisdom, panel chaired over by the Chief Justice herself, decided to grant the injunction until the full determination of the suit. And so what they have done now is to restore the status quo. That is, all those 4 members of Parliament have been directed to actually allow them to perform their duties as members of Parliament until the full determination of this suit. The case was made by Afenyo-Markin and his lawyers, led by Bakwesi Abedu and Jogate Aomuba Court, and there to make the case that these are serious issues, that they do not believe the Speaker of Parliament had the power to act the way he purported to have acted. And the Supreme Court have largely agreed with them, so much so that they have given them more than they requested for. They requested for 10 days interim injunction. Court now granted the injunction up until the full determination, but they have made some consequential orders that the Speaker of Parliament and the Attorney General must file their statement of case in 7 days. On the filing of the statement of case in 7 days, all the parties should have to find a joint memorandum in 7 days so that the matter will be expeditiously delivered.
What it now means, MPs, were all the 4 MPs not present at the Supreme Court?
No, they were not. In fact, this action was not started in their name. Afenyo Makin filed this action as a citizen of Ghana.
As a citizen of Ghana, okay.
About a breach of the Constitution.
Of the Constitution, that's fine.
In his words, allegation.
That's
fine.
So
that is what he came to court to do. The court has granted that, and the court has directed Speaker of Parliament and Parliament as an institution to allow these 4 MPs to do their work, because the Supreme Court also did what they call the balance of probabilities, to say that ultimately, if this case is decided and it ends up in the favor of the Parliament of Ghana and the Speaker's ruling, the Speaker can just go ahead and enforce the ruling.
Yeah.
But if it goes against the Parliament of Ghana, by which time these members would have been denied the right and opportunity to represent their constituents, that will be irreparable damage, for which reason they balance the probabilities and have granted an injunction.
A balance of convenience. Balance of convenience. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's okay. What it means, they say, and I don't know, was the Parliament of Ghana represented by a council?
No, this was an ex parte application, which means that it is only the lawyers for the applicants who were heard in court, and that is why they actually asked for 10 days, because the normal learning is that ex parte injunction of this sort only subsists for 10 days, after which you come for a repeat on notice. But the court, in its own wisdom, decided that this is a very important matter, for which reason they have granted it up until the end of this case, and the full determination is done.
Video now was sending who lawyer Jogate in full robe on representing Afenyo Makin.
He was part of the legal team. He did not make any arguments in court, but he was seated right beside Pakwesi Abedu, the same lawyer that is representing Richard Alaska in the anti-LGBTQ case. But he was here as part of the legal team, but did not make any representation in court today.
Very well. Kweku, my nasi bibiania, yebesia babi dinko mobi. Kweku asante, ene yatene nka, reporting live from the Supreme Court. So hope pictures and as videos from the Supreme Court and Oba Asempa FM, ye live stream on YouTube, especially and Facebook and so ubehu videos where ye fresh videos from the Supreme Court are MPs led by Honorable Alexander Kwame Afenyo Makin, who is actually the plaintiff in this particular suit bar MPs ninyina edinachi MPs oba obehu videos of how Neoma AC echo Evans Mensah our head of the political desk or Joy News. Evans, yes, I'm on for Kabo officially me as MP. But it's interesting. I mean, how things can change with this speed. I don't know if this would bring about a constitutional crisis in our country. How Parliament will react, especially the Speaker, how he would react to this particular issue.
Yeah, because the Parliament will reconvene on Tuesday.
Oh, they reconvene on Tuesday. Okay.
They adjourned yesterday to Tuesday.
Yes.
And they advertised business from when they were going on the break. And they said, Omoba. I'm be elected second deputy speaker.
Yes.
That's I say and the chairman now come replace on Tuesday.
Yes.
Now I'm started the process to reconstitute the committees.
Okay.
So on the back of this then so status quo there my fellow market is back to be majority leader. But you can expect a speaker would like to have a say.
A say on
definitely. For me, the big issue, they say, what say would he have?
What would he say?
When
on Tuesday.
Yeah. Okay, you're trying now, Supreme Court, you're trying for the determination. Okay, sir. I think you make a file, I don't know.
Yes.
You took that school of thought, sir. Once the process has been commenced, it's a stay. It acts as a stay.
Yeah.
So, makes that.
Yes.
And I speak a disregard there.
Because even amongst legal or not say senior lawyers, there is still a debate on that. Whether the mere filing of an application automatically